UFOs were easy to dismiss when sightings came from random people. But this time, the evidence came from officials. Military pilots interacted with mysterious objects. Naval crews reported them through formal channels.
All four of us looked down a small, saw a white Tic Tac moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball.
And even a sitting US president acknowledged that something unexplained is happening in the skies.
I interviewed jet pilots. They said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane.
So let's watch the most convincing proof of aliens' presence out there.
Wait. Whoa, it's on.
Report 1. Okay, 366, you will follow 5.
This leaked military clip is said to be from September 1st, 2025, near Lake Mead. A U.S. Black Hawk helicopter was flying its route when an unidentified object appeared alongside it. The object didn't show up on radar and was only visible to the crew. For a few seconds, it flew perfectly parallel to the helicopter, matching its speed with ease. Then, without warning, it made a sharp backward turn and disappeared. The smooth control and sudden escape raised serious questions about how often such encounters happen without being detected.
Report 1. Okay, 366, you will follow 5.
Naval exchange. Filmed off the coast of California in 2019, this footage is claimed to show a U.S. Navy encounter that crossed a line. The video allegedly leaked after a cyber breach and appeared to show naval forces firing at an unknown object in the sky. The target ignited, but instead of falling, it responded. A burst of light shot back toward the ships, followed by visible damage and chaos. Officials denied the clip right away. Still, for a lot of ufologists, it came across less like science fiction and more like something being covered up. Routine presence. This clip, said to be filmed near Area 51 in Nevada, looks ordinary at first. Military personnel move around calmly, doing what appears to be routine work. Then viewers notice something unsettling, a small humanoid figure walking among them. No one reacts, no alarms, no hesitation. It moved as if it belonged there.
No puede ser. ¿Es real?
That detail sparked intense debate online. Many believe this wasn't a discovery or an emergency moment, but something far more disturbing. If this footage is real, it suggests cooperation so normalized that no one felt the need to look twice.
No puede ser. ¿Es real?
Silent retrieval. A video said to be recorded near Area 51 surfaced online and immediately raised eyebrows. According to the local who filmed it, he heard a loud impact on his property early one morning. When he went to check, a round disc-shaped object sat on the ground, looking disturbingly familiar. As he moved closer, he realized he wasn't alone. Several unknown figures were already there. Dressed in full hazmat-style suits, he recorded as much as he could from a distance. The object's shape, size, and urgency around it convinced many that this wasn't debris, but a recovered UFO. Tic Tac. In 2023, a passenger flying above the clouds noticed a strange white object moving alongside the plane. It looked smooth, oval, and fast, nothing like a normal aircraft. Soon after, leaked military footage added more weight to the sighting.
All four of us, because we were F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white Tic Tac moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings.
A fighter pilot can be heard describing a similar Tic Tac-shaped object during a routine patrol. According to him, the object moved erratically, stopping and accelerating instantly, ignoring known laws of physics. Officials stayed vague, but repeated sightings like this make it harder to dismiss these encounters as a coincidence. Orbital pyramid. After a cyber incident involving NASA systems in 2024, an unusual piece of archived footage resurfaced. Recorded in 1998 by a MIR camera aboard a space shuttle, it was meant to document a routine rocket separation. Instead, it appeared to capture a pyramid-shaped object drifting nearby. The structure seemed stable, almost stationary, as if observing the shuttle. Officials later stated it was debris from a rocket component, yet analysts noted a problem. No known rocket parts from that era matched a pyramidal shape. The footage remains unexplained, raising questions about what was actually sharing that orbit. Vanishing hover. Somewhere in Nevada, a local observer watched a large saucer-shaped craft glide silently across the sky. It hovered, shifted positions, then paused, as though selecting a precise point. Moments later, it accelerated upward and appeared to enter a circular distortion before disappearing completely. No debris, no trail. Some suggested advanced military testing, pointing to the region's history. Others weren't convinced. The motion didn't resemble known aircraft behavior. Whatever it was, it operated beyond familiar limits, leaving only one certainty behind. The sky that night revealed something it wasn't meant to explain. Forest descent. Back in 2024, sightings across Mexico appeared to intensify. In September, near Zitácuaro, Michoacán, a man driving home after work noticed a glowing object gliding steadily across the sky. Instead of stopping, he followed it, recording as it descended slowly toward a wooded area. The movement looked controlled, almost intentional, before the object vanished behind the trees. Online discussion quickly centered on one idea, that the craft wasn't leaving, but arriving. Many suggested the surrounding forests concealed something permanent, something the object seemed familiar with. UFO base. A mysterious clip from an unknown source is puzzling viewers worldwide. In the footage, a military base, believed to be in Russia, can be seen as alien being appear casually in front of armed soldiers. No panic, no resistance, just calm movement, as if this meeting was expected. Above the base, a massive UFO hovers, seemingly there to pick it up. This raises a chilling question. If contact has already happened, who could possibly stop what comes next? Area 51 mystery. For those who say there's nothing otherworldly near Area 51, this one might change your mind. In the footage, a massive UFO spaceship can be clearly seen resting there. It almost looks like it arrived for maintenance, or maybe to deliver some kind of message.
Oh my God, it's opening. That's not a jet. That's a triangle. Look at the lights.
After a short while, the craft slowly lifts off and disappears into the sky. The moment makes one thing feel obvious. Contact has already happened. The real mystery is why it's being kept quiet, hidden behind layers of secrecy.
Wait. Whoa, it's gone.
Soldiers encounter. Recently, something happened in the Arizona desert that no one expected. Soldiers received a report about a strange object in a remote area. When they arrived, they were stunned to see a massive UFO flying there.
See the tank, right? And then southeast little face off the shiny object. Yeah, make sure they offset from the shiny object.
Immediate action was taken, and a helicopter was sent to make contact, but there was no response at all. The helicopter was called back, and before more forces could arrive, the UFO left the site. For Secret Services, this wasn't just an incident. It was a clear signal that they can appear anytime, anywhere, and the world must stay prepared. Unidentified being. In a small town in Portugal, locals witnessed something straight out of a nightmare. a strange creature wandered into a family's yard, looking like a reptilian alien. At first, they were afraid, but soon they realized it wasn't aggressive at all. What puzzled everyone was its appearance, an alien-like body with sharp spikes along its head and back, just like a reptile. The footage was shared online, sparking wild theories. Some believed it was an alien mixed through experiments, while others claimed it was an entirely different species altogether. Unidentified orb. Near Area 51, a piece of CCTV footage revealed something that made the location even more mysterious. A glowing orb was seen rushing down from the sky at full speed, then suddenly stopping mid-air. For a brief moment, it hovered silently, almost as if it was studying the base below. Within seconds, it seemed to gather everything it needed and shot back into the sky. By the time authorities realized what was happening, it was already gone. Frightened animal. Strange encounters often announce themselves through animals first. While inspecting his farmland, a farmer noticed his dog suddenly sprinting back in panic, reacting to something unseen. Moments later, he spotted a disc-shaped object hovering quietly among the trees. As he zoomed in, the size became clear. A massive saucer suspended unnaturally still. When the farmer focused on it, the object seemed to pause, almost aware it was being watched. Then, without warning, it shot straight upward at incredible speed. The silence afterward made the encounter feel intentional, not accidental. Tourist encounter. Back in 2009, a tourist was exploring historic sites in Chile when something completely unexpected happened. A disc-shaped UFO was seen casually gliding across the sky. The tourist was shocked, unable to believe what he was seeing. What made it even stranger was how normal it seemed to the surroundings, as if sightings like this weren't unusual at all. That ordinary trip instantly became unforgettable, leaving him with a memory that followed him long after he left Chile. Atmosphere exit. An anonymous uploader shared this footage claiming it showed an alien craft leaving Earth. In the clip, a high-speed object can be seen shooting upward, breaking through the atmosphere with ease. Its shape and movement don't resemble any known aircraft or rocket. Officials later suggested it was a satellite, but many viewers weren't convinced. The speed, angle, and design looked nothing like typical space technology. What stands out is how cleanly it exits the atmosphere, as if it was built specifically for that purpose.
What is going on?
Field patrol. In a remote area back in 2007, a witness reported seeing a massive flying saucer hovering just inches above the ground. It didn't rush or wobble. Instead, it moved slowly from one field to another, almost methodical, as if surveying the land below. After several moments, the object began to rise. Without warning, it shot upward and vanished at extreme speed. The witness never reported any sound or disturbance. The behavior suggested purpose rather than chance, leaving behind a lingering impression that the location itself, not the witness, was the real focus that night. Signal Mothership. Back in 2020, a tourist in Austin filmed something that people are still arguing about. High above the city, a huge silent object hung in the sky, almost like a mothership, with lights pulsing in what looked like a pattern instead of random flashes. And that's not it. Two smaller objects drifted nearby, moving like they knew exactly where they were going. A moment later, they slipped back into the larger craft. Then, with no sound and no buildup, the whole thing just vanished.
El cargador, güey, era el que quería.
To them, it looked like surveillance and departure executed once the task was complete. Open hatch. In a remote area, a traveler came across something that didn't fit any known aircraft. Sitting quietly was a strange craft with a visible front gate, designed in a way that felt completely unfamiliar. It wasn't damaged or hidden. As the traveler watched, the object slowly lifted off the ground, rising with calm control instead of speed or force. There was no rush, no sudden movement. That's what stood out the most. It behaved like it had all the time in the world, suggesting a level of technology far beyond anything commonly seen. Minas object. In 2024, people all over Minas Gerais, Brazil, looked up and saw something they couldn't just shrug off. A dark object was drifting across the sky, with glowing lights around it. At first, everyone joked that it was just some fancy kite. Then, a second video showed up. This thing was moving in a really controlled and steady way. Some people said it might have been made to blend in, using a familiar shape as a kind of disguise. And honestly, it worked, at least until a bunch of cameras caught it clearly from different angles.
Viado, vamos achar a linha dela?
Não, cê é doido.
De algum lugar, viado.
Mysterious disappearance. Back in 2008, a tourist in Mexico suddenly vanished without a trace. Then, 16 years later, he reappeared, carrying something even more mysterious, footage of a UFO. The object had a triangular shape with glowing lights and was spotted near wooded areas close to Mexico City. He claimed he secretly recorded it that night. The strangest part? He remembers nothing about the missing years in between. Many believe that this sighting played a major role in his disappearance. Egg-shaped UFO. An Air Force veteran, Jake Barber, came forward with a claim that stunned everyone. He said he worked on a classified UFO retrieval mission and got as close as 150 feet from the object.
Well, I was a helicopter pilot. I got within 150 feet of this object.
It was a smooth, white egg-shaped craft, almost 20 feet long, with no seams, no burn marks, and no visible propulsion. His team knew right away this wasn't anything humans had built. According to him, this wasn't some one-time incident either. Internal briefings openly acknowledged non-human intelligence was involved, but only behind closed doors. As far as the public record is concerned, the program never existed. French impact. In 2024, a short clip from France went viral after showing scientists and media gathered around two unidentified objects that reportedly fell into an open field. The footage shows experts closely examining the surfaces, which appeared smooth and unfamiliar. According to reports, the material didn't match any known elements. Authorities quickly labeled it a top-secret project, but several scientists on site didn't agree with that explanation. Their reaction suggested genuine confusion. The lack of follow-up details only added to suspicion that what fell wasn't something human-made at all. Ocean intercept. Back in 2015, two Spanish fishermen were out at sea when loud jet engines suddenly roared overhead. One of them started recording, expecting to catch the jets. Instead, the camera picked up something else entirely. A saucer-shaped object hovered calmly above the water, unaffected by the jets nearby. Seconds later, it dropped straight into the ocean and vanished without a trace. You can hear panic in their voices as it happens. What made it stranger was how fast authorities showed up afterward, telling them to leave the area immediately. Beach hover. A beachgoer in Cape Town, South Africa, captured footage of a mid-sized saucer hovering just a few feet away from the shoreline. It stayed completely still, as if stopping there was normal. The man kept filming as the object paused, then suddenly shot off at incredible speed, gone in a blink. There was no build-up or sound warning. The sudden departure made the moment unsettling, leaving viewers wondering how something so close could vanish so effortlessly. Burnt fragment. During routine mining work in Western Australia, workers noticed something burning in a remote field near their site. When they approached, they found a strange object that looked like it had fallen from the sky. The miners reported it immediately, and the footage shows a solid fragment unlike any known material. Experts later described it as highly unusual, saying its composition didn't match known elements. Authorities collected the object for further study. What unsettled many people was how little information followed, despite early claims that it was something truly unique. Siberian mystery. A short video from Siberia triggered immediate debate online. It showed two strange humanoid figures with elongated skulls and dark, oversized eyes. The uploader claimed a nearby UFO had crashed, and these were the occupants, and one of them lost its life during the impact. No aircraft debris was visible, but the bodies didn't resemble any known animal or human condition. The region's isolation only added to the mystery. Skeptics demanded proof, yet no clear explanation followed. Supporters argue this clip wasn't staged, but captured quickly before authorities could intervene. Wedge escort. From an undisclosed mountainous location, a massive wedge-shaped craft appeared low in the sky. It was dark, solid, and far larger than any conventional aircraft, and beside it were two A-10 Warthogs entered the frame. One flew above it, the other below, moving in sync as if guiding the object along a set path. That detail changed everything. Skeptics argue the footage could be altered, but supporters point to the precise formation and aircraft choice. To them, this didn't look like interception, it looked like an escort, and that suggests coordination, not surprise.
Oh my God!
Siberian beam. In a remote Siberian region, a local recorded something hovering silently above the mountains. A massive, saucer-shaped disc sat in the sky. When the camera zoomed in, a narrow beam of light appeared, reaching down onto a mountain peak below. The beam kept blinking in and out, almost like it was being controlled on purpose. Most of the online theories landed on one idea: a mothership doing something on the surface. No explosions, no sound, just slow, controlled movement. Whatever it was up there, it didn't feel like an accident, and it definitely didn't feel human. Orange descent. Back in October 2023, something unusual lit up the night skies over Maceió, Brazil. Locals across the state recorded the same sight from different locations.
Não, cara, tá por cima da nuvem.
A huge orange glowing sphere hovering silently above them. Police suggested it could be sea flares, but that explanation quickly fell apart. The Port Authority, Air Force, and Navy all confirmed they had no alerts, drills, or activity in the area that night. What made this harder to dismiss was the number of angles showing the same object. Whatever entered the sky that night, it wasn't part of any known operation.
Sendo ZT lá, ó.
Disc-shaped UFO. An old piece of footage from Italy resurfaced online, and it didn't take long to unsettle viewers. A local noticed a disc-shaped object in the sky and began zooming in with his camera. What appeared wasn't small or distant. A large saucer hovered silently, steady and clear. But behind it, something even bigger came into view. A massive structure hanging farther back. Many who analyzed the clip believe the smaller craft wasn't alone. They claim it was deployed from that larger object, possibly a mothership, sent to quietly observe without drawing attention. Clear saucer. In Paraná, a local noticed something strange moving across the sky in broad daylight. Luckily, he had a high-quality camera and zoomed in. What appeared on screen was a clean, saucer-shaped object traveling steadily above the clouds. There were no blinking lights, no wings, and no visible propulsion. Once the footage went viral, people demanded answers. Authorities quickly denied anything unusual, but soon after, several experts spoke up.
UAP are real. Advanced technologies, not made by our government or any other government, are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe.
Stating that unidentified aerial phenomena are real and actively monitored. That shift only made the footage feel more credible. Silent glide. Shared by a major news outlet, Daily Mail, this footage was captured in Kuala Krai, Malaysia. It showed a large, dark object gliding slowly over a village skyline. The craft appeared massive, moving smoothly without sound or visible engines. Villagers could be heard reacting in shock as it drifted closer. Authorities later dismissed the clip as digitally created. However, analysts who examined the motion and lighting argued otherwise. They pointed out the object's steady path and scale, saying it didn't behave like an edited overlay. That disagreement kept the debate alive. Hidden remains. This clip stunned many viewers. A lone UFO researcher claimed he uncovered something governments had kept buried for decades. In a remote cave in Peru, he says he found a sealed wooden box. Inside was a small humanoid body, lifeless, with enlarged eyes and proportions that didn't match any known species. The footage shows careful handling, almost as if the finder knew how serious this was. Some researchers believe authorities may have hidden similar discoveries long ago, and this one simply slipped through the cracks. If true, it suggests discoveries don't always stay buried forever. Roswell recover. Another disturbing video surfaced online, shared by an anonymous source claiming it came from deep archives connected to Area 51. The footage appears old and shows what looks like a non-human body being recovered, reportedly linked to the Roswell crash. Analysts who examined the clip noted no visible signs of editing or manipulation. The setting, equipment, and movement all feel consistent with older military recordings. Some believe this shows early experiments conducted in secrecy, long before the public knew anything. If authentic, this wasn't discovery footage, it was documentation of something already known. Roadway light. A late-night drive turned unsettling for one family returning home. As the road stretched ahead in darkness, a strange light appeared hovering just above their car. It wasn't a headlight, street lamp, or reflection. The light moved with intent, pacing the vehicle for a brief moment before gliding forward and disappearing into the night. With no explanation and no follow-up information, the footage was uploaded and quickly spread. Viewers fixated on one possibility. Whatever hovered there wasn't random. It looked deliberate, controlled, and aware, almost as if the road itself was under quiet observation. Circling lights. On the Tequisquiapan to Querétaro Highway, a routine drive home turned into an unsettling encounter. After pulling over, a witness recorded multiple bright lights rotating around an unseen central point in the sky. The motion wasn't chaotic. Each light moved in sync, maintaining formation as if responding to commands.
Esto es en Fuentezuelas, Querétaro.
When the footage spread, interpretations split. Some viewed it as advanced aerial technology. Others leaned towards something far older and symbolic. No explanation accounted for the coordination or purpose of the lights. Whatever was happening above that highway appeared deliberate, structured, and briefly revealed by chance. Polar Watcher. In October 2024, a tourist in Antarctica noticed something unusual suspended among the clouds. At first glance, it blended into the pale sky, but its perfectly round shape stood out once he zoomed in. The object hovered motionless, overlooking the frozen terrain below. Before slowly drifting behind a mountain and disappearing. The footage unsettled viewers worldwide. Antarctica is isolated, controlled, and largely unexplored. That context made the sighting harder to dismiss. Many began wondering whether the continent's silence wasn't emptiness at all, but concealment, hiding observers that rarely allow themselves to be seen. Silent emergence. A parked car's dashcam captured something that forced even hardened skeptics to pause. In the footage, a humanoid figure appears beside the vehicle, moving with calm precision, as if surveying the surroundings. Its proportions looked unnatural. An enlarged head, bulging eyes, features many associated with classic alien descriptions. The figure remained still for several seconds, then dissipated into what appeared to be smoke, vanishing without sound. Online theories quickly followed, suggesting the entity was temporarily deployed and then withdrawn. No mechanical explanation has convincingly explained how a solid figure could dissolve so cleanly. School overflight. A large white object drifting beneath low clouds caught attention for one unsettling reason. It was hovering above a school. Witnesses described a smooth, layered shape, unlike any aircraft or drone. From certain angles, it appeared enormous, as if partially concealed by the clouds themselves. The object moved slowly, deliberately, showing no signs of propulsion. Its low altitude disturbed many observers.
What is that?
Raising questions about intent. Schools are predictable environments, densely populated and routine. The idea that something unknown would linger there suggested observation, not transit, leaving the sighting difficult to dismiss. Fused craft. A commercial flight passenger expected nothing more than clouds when he opened his window shade. Instead, he saw something massive drifting nearby. The object appeared to be two saucer-shaped forms, fused into one structure, floating with no visible movement or exhaust. Shocked, he recorded the scene and shared it online, igniting intense debate. Some believed it pointed to non-human technology, while others leaned toward classified aerospace testing. Regardless of interpretation, witnessing an unidentified structure at cruising altitude unsettled viewers. At that height, nothing should be drifting aimlessly, especially not something that large. Magnetic hover. In a quiet Northern California neighborhood near military facilities, a driver noticed a metallic object hovering motionless in the sky. Sunlight reflected off its surface as he recorded, revealing a smooth, controlled presence. Analysts suggested experimental military technology, while others questioned why such testing would occur in plain sight. The object showed no urgency, no evasive movement, just steady hovering. Each second, it remained. Hidden gathering. This footage has been spreading online with no clear source or explanation. In the video, humanoid figures can be seen standing together. They appear thin, with elongated heads and large dark eyes, features commonly associated with classic alien descriptions. The anonymous uploader offered no background, no location, and no date. That silence only fueled speculation. Online discussion suggests the clip may show a secret meeting connected to events after the Roswell incident. There is no proof to confirm that claim. Still, the calm, organized presence of the figures is what unsettles viewers the most. UFO overtaking plane. Locals near Jorge Chavez International Airport in Lima, Peru, witnessed something shocking. As a passenger plane was heading to the airport, a strange object suddenly zipped across the sky. It was a UFO, moving far faster than the aircraft itself. Even the pilot and crew must have been stunned. Authorities later investigated, but no one could explain how it appeared or where it went. Till today, the mysterious sighting remains unsolved. California mystery. On the night of February 28, 2011, California locals experienced something truly mysterious. A disc-shaped UFO was seen flying overhead, but what set it apart were its glowing blue lights. something rarely linked to these sightings. As it hovered, unease spread through the area, and people watched in stunned silence. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. Since that night, the strange object has never been seen there again, leaving behind questions with no clear answers. Let's move towards our subscribers' pick of the day. This clip has been spreading fast online. A family driving home near a military installation noticed something unusual on the road ahead. A large trailer was moving slowly, carrying what appeared to be a massive saucer-shaped object. The footage was brief and shaky, but the shape was clear enough to raise concern. No escorts were visible, and no official explanation followed. Online discussions quickly pointed toward a secret delivery, suggesting the object was being moved quietly, away from public attention, as part of something never meant to be seen.